I don't understand the media constantly trying to twist the things I say into a negative way when all I want is better for women. I really don't understand it. I don't appreciate the lies. Don't you ever get sick of lying on my name? Like, sheesh. Don't you have anything else better to talk about?
Liz Cambage recently came out of retirement to clarify the reasons behind her departure from the WNBA, and it appears that she may have opened a Pandora's box in the process. It seems that the WNBA's public relations team made up the story of her going rogue and having to quit in shame. What is truly fascinating, though, is not who wrote this story, but rather why. And if you are among the individuals who were labeled insane for making the connection between Brittney Griner's unexpected return and Liz's departure from the WNBA, this is your day. It turns out that the WNBA will stop at nothing to keep Brittney safe, even if it means losing one of its best players. The irony is that Liz had no intention of staying down for very long. She has returned with a vengeance, and if it takes that long for the truth to be revealed, many more careers will be put on the chopping board.
You know, I got to witness it all firsthand. The lies I was told, and I'm so happy I have witnesses to everything I've been through. Dinner's a catch. You know,
Liz Cambage recently ignited the internet when she revealed the true reason behind her departure from the WNBA. Perhaps it would be more accurate to state that she was expelled from the WNBA because, according to what we were told, she did not quit voluntarily. As everyone is aware, Liz Cambage has spent the past few years concentrating on her offensive line career and avoiding the WNBA courts. The official justification was that Liz was too contentious for the team's image and that her encounter with the Nigerian basketball team had just destroyed her career. But Liz insisted that this was not the real story. In an explosive interview with Taylor Rooks for Bleacher Reports, she talked about all of this and disclosed that the WNBA had set her up to protect Brittney Griner. If you think it is odd, wait till you hear how Liz was kicked out of the WNBA because the entire incident involving the Nigerian basketball team was exaggerated to make her appear terrible. We all recall how Liz allegedly yelled some insults at the Nigerian retirees players at the 2021 pre-Olympic scrimmage, sparking days of debate on Twitter and other sports forums. She allegedly gave them a call, monkeys, and told them to go back to their third world country. That is what the media ran with anyway. It was not like that at all, Liz said. She said she is highly pro-black and has never used racist insults against them. For her to even consider doing such a thing would be uncharacteristic.
this one girl that's been saying that I called them monkeys, N-words, like, that's not, I'll call you a bitch. I'll call you a dumb dash. That's what I say to people when we get into it. I don't really lean towards racially, backed, like, insults. That's not how I go. I'm very pro-black.
So you maintain that you did not.
I did not say these to these girls. This girl that's saying all these things, right, had a lot to say about me. Leak the tapes. I've never owned the tapes. Leak the tapes. Y'all want to see the truth? Leak the tapes. Everyone in Australia has seen the tape. Still lying about what's on these tapes. Leak the tapes.
So I guess that still does, beg the question, because at the end of the day, it is one person saying that you said one thing, one person saying they didn't, and the truth is somewhere in there. And only people that know are the people that were there.
Yeah.
But I guess it's just why? Why would something as bad as this happen?
Because the truth looks a lot worse for other organizations involved than using me as a scapegoat. Like, why does Nigeria want me to leave Australia and go represent them? Why are we about...
You're saying right now?
We're filing for me to leave the Australian team so I can represent Nigeria.
Because Nigeria would like you to join the team?
I've been in cahoots. I've been talking with them since all of this happened. This is what I mean. People don't know. People don't know the truth. No, I honestly haven't had one journalist that's written all these lies.
Well, of course she will deny saying slurs to save face, is probably what you are thinking. However, videos from that game have been discovered by those who are truly curious about the facts, hands. And it is clear that Liz was not the only player flinging hands. Tense music. It appeared to be a typical instance of people fighting and a game getting hot. Now, Liz Cambage's controversy has never been refuted. On and off the court, she has experienced her share of crazy experiences. Regarding that specific instance, however, Liz later discovered that she was being set up to be blamed for something far more significant than that game. If you wanted further evidence that Liz was being implicated, just look at how no one on her team defends her when an opposing team member attacks her. Hold on tight, because this is where things become very fascinating. It is a screaming conspiracy. You see, it took her a while to accept it, but Liz finally saw that she had been lured into acting out before the 2021 pre-Olympics. Liz had previously experienced hardship from some athletes and team management for years before it, but everything was revealed in 2022 when Liz made the decision to speak up about her contract divorce from the Los Angeles Sparks. To put things in perspective, Liz's 2022 contract with the Sparks was expected to include a $170,000 salary as well as benefits like a car, rent, and other costs covered. But she did not understand she had been duped by Hollywood until she had signed the contract. She was not going to receive any benefits since, apparently, this kind of contract went under the WNBA's list of prohibited benefits. Liz had to endure terrible treatment from both staff and other players, as if that were not terrible enough. She claims that while playing for the Sparks, she reached her lowest point. The absurd thing is that Liz was consistently disregarded and ignored in spite of her repeated complaints.
You know, I kept LA as the pinnacle of my dream, even though a lot of people warned me about playing for that club, and you know, I got to witness it all firsthand. The lies I was told, and I'm so happy I have witnesses to everything I've been through. Dinners at Catch, you know, with GMs and ownership telling me they were gonna give me a G-Wagon.
And ownership told you they were going to get you a G-Wagon if you came.
Any Sparks. We'll show you with any car you want. I'm talking G-Wagons. She said maybe we'll get you a GLE. We're going to help you extra, you know, paying your rent in Bel Air. We're going to pay off your coaches, your medical stuff. Did any of that happen? No. So you brought me here on lies. I'm dealing with, you know, a lot of disrespect, a lot of turbulent players in the change room, the locker rooms, and I'm telling the GM, I'm telling coaches, I'm telling the ownership what's going on. No one cares. No one cares. So I'm not the type of girl that's going to sit in a disrespectful anything. Relationship, workspace, anything. I'm gonna leave. There's one thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave if I'm uncomfortable, and that's what I did.
Here's the catch, though. Other players on the team were getting far more benefits than Liz was requesting, while she was forced to endure all of this. She claimed that she felt wronged in more ways than one. She believed that she was being singled out and painted as a villain for no apparent reason. She did not realize, though, until years later, that all of the passive-aggressive behavior, the dismissal when she complained, and the taunts from other players were all intended to make Liz act irrational, so they could have a convincing reason to expel her from the WNBA without making it clear that they were doing it to protect Brittney Griner. The true question, though, is this: why would the WNBA be willing to risk it all for one player? Why was Liz chosen to be sacrificed to protect Brittney? As everyone is aware, Brittney has been playing in the WNBA under false pretenses, and there have been speculations concerning her identity. Soft music. Rumors have been circulating for the past few months regarding Brittney's physical attributes, assertiveness, and other characteristics that set her apart from other female basketball players. Fans were baffled as to why, in spite of all the requirements that players must pass in order to be permitted to play for any team, she appeared to be slipping beneath the WNBA's radar. A thorough inquiry of athletes who appear to have unfair physical advantages over other players, particularly Brittney Griner, has been demanded by fans. But since these calls have not been answered, rumors that the WNBA is purposefully withholding information to shield Brittney have grown. Why is the question? The WNBA has been involved in a number of scandals over the years, but it has made an effort to address these issues by implementing progressive policies, particularly those pertaining to trans and queer athletes. Two-time national champion Val Whiting is among the athletes who have complained about this trend. I said, "A lot of my basketball sisters feel differently, but trans women do not belong in women's sports. It's not fair nor safe for biological women. Other than competing against biological women, there must be another way for trans women to participate in sports. Being inclusive is one thing, but it is quite another when it begins to harm defenseless female athletes who really want a chance to follow their aspirations." Supporters could not help but notice that Brittney Griner frequently gets away with doing things that would have ended the careers of other athletes. For example, how can one explain Brittney's past when she publicly insulted Caitlin Clark? There was not even a slap on the wrist, no apology, and no investigation. Brittney denied what thousands of people saw her do in real time, and that was all we got. Just so you know, the league would love to expose Caitlin to the media and ruin her career if the roles were reversed. Liz and the Nigerian basketball team actually experienced the exact same thing. Liz was reprimanded and had her career destroyed for it, even though she had admitted to being insulted on television and that she would never use such derogatory language. The double standards were quickly noticed by fans, and this individual pointed it out in a tweet, writing, "They kicked Liz Cambage and Chennedy Carter out of the league for some of these types of things they let old girl get away with." Speaking of which, it is obvious that those who wish to hide their own secrets were the only ones who wanted Liz Cambage removed from the WNBA. She was reluctant to go. When she departed the squad, her former teammates were sobbing, and the fans have been demanding that she rejoin the league. Liz is what the current WNBA squad lacks to provide the necessary additional drama for the league, one fan said. "Where is Liz Cambage when you need her? The WNBA needs her now more than ever." Another fan chimed in with, "Could you imagine Liz Cambage on a team in today's WNBA landscape? New fans would not be ready." Why is it still believed that Liz has been the issue all along, since it is obvious that everyone wants her to be around? To be honest, Liz seems to draw drama with her wherever she goes. Since being drafted in 2011, she has played for 12 different teams, 4 in the WNBA, and several overseas in China, Australia, and Israel. She has never played consecutive seasons with one team. Here's the terrible reality though. Liz is the only one who makes it contentious. Many more female basketball players have played for several WNBA teams, as well as teams abroad, but they do not receive nearly as much attention for their accomplishments. Liz receives even more criticism than athletes like Brittney Griner, who have been found guilty of crimes. Fans have noted that Brittney Griner, who was found guilty and imprisoned for carrying and using drugs, receives a pass while Liz is criticized for allegedly being problematic. Some people believe that Liz was set up so that the WNBA could protect Brittney Griner, and it could not be more clear. However, this is still something many people find difficult to comprehend. Without anyone ever questioning the WNBA's decision to fire Liz in order to shield Brittney Griner, how could they get away with it? However, Liz may have the ideal chance to launch a professional comeback that will completely upend the league now that people are demanding the truth and asking questions. Liz would not simply come back with nothing. She will be bringing receipts, revealing all those involved in destroying her career in the name of secrecy. And the WNBA will not be able to hide it this time if what she is proposing is already underway.